I'm Eric.
I'm Peter.
And this is
Who Asked for This?
Where we
break down a pop culture topic and look into its creations and, more importantly, answer the question, Who asked for this? We're not really doing that today.
The next few episodes are going to be like filler episodes
Just
about some weird topic or
talking about some stuff we enjoy. And then we're going to be releasing around the time of post March 30th, we're going to be releasing episodes on the MonsterVerse films, being Kong Skull Island, both Godzillas, and Kong v. Godzilla.
And a review on a movie that Peter has been avoiding for a very long time.
Which we will not spoil because it sucks. It's not fun and I hate it.
I forced him into it.
Yeah.
Because it's bad, not because I thought it was good.
No, but this episode's going to come out pretty soon. We're just going to talk about...
Wait, why? Like,
no,
in their mind, it comes out exactly...
Yeah, you're right. You're like, I ruined the magic of podcasting.
You did it.
No. We're releasing this episode the day after the finale of WandaVision, which I like to call Long Division, because it's fun. Anyway... Like, that's a show that everyone's been talking about. It's in the zeitgeist. It's...
Okay, actually, no, shut the fuck up. Do you find Long Division to be fun, or do you find the joke of saying that fun?
I find the joke of calling WandaVision Long Division very funny.
Okay, because I would have criticized you.
No, Long Division sucks. I hate it.
I hate it.
You know what other... By
the way, we're so rusty. I'm so sorry.
This is just you listening to Two Guys in a Basement. Two Guys in a Basement.
Yeah, you are.
That would have been a good name for a podcast.
That would have been a good name for our podcast.
Two Men in a Basement.
We need to create another podcast that's specifically for our bullshit rather than like...
Two men in a bullshit. Two men and a bullshit. It's
Two Men and Their Bullshit.
Two Men and Their Bullshit. It's a play on the movie Two Men and a Baby, starring Tom Selleck and Ted Danson.
That's good.
Which is an actual movie. I have not seen it.
I have not
Tom
either.
Selleck looks weird without a mustache. Have you ever seen him without a mustache? Doesn't look good. We're talking about WandaVision, which is a Marvel property. Now, WandaVision came out like a month ago? It came out in February.
January.
It was just the 16th of January. I do remember that. And for those who don't know, I'm going to give a brief synopsis. None of this is planned, by the way.
Really? It's been...
Yeah, because I do weekly releases.
Yeah, you're right. It just doesn't seem like... It's only a few episodes, so
it's 9 episodes in total.
Yeah.
There was rumors of a secret 10th episode, but that's not true.
Yeah.
Also, like... I will get into something. I think
they said that only because people wanted that multiverse aspect, and they haven't gotten there yet. And
that's a whole thing. But the plot of WandaVision is that your two favorite Avengers, the Scarlet Witch and the Vision, they're in the suburbs and
doing a sitcom.
They're doing a sitcom. What's up with that? The first episode is like the 40s. And
the 40s.
No, 50s.
50s.
Yes, the 50s. It's Dick Van Dyke.
Even though Dick Van Dyke was the 60s.
Yes. But it had like the feel of the 50s.
Yeah.
And then the next one is the 60s. It's like Bewitched. Oh, it is Bewitched.
Yeah.
Man, Bewitched is
that intro gives it all away.
It's the Bewitched, and then the third episode's like Brady Bunch, and then the fourth episode is like fucking...
the fourth episode was like outside of the...
fourth episode was What's Going On in the Real World. Fifth episode is... that
was like...
Oh, fifth episode is... Stuff. Yeah, fifth episode is Full House. Sixth episode is Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, because then the seventh episode
was Modern Family.
And the eighth episode is we watch Wanda's just sad life.
Yeah.
And then the ninth episode it's the finale, and it's okay. But I think the thing that's interesting about this show is that it's, in a lot of people's minds, it was very different than their typical Marvel thing. It was experimental with...
The only fight scene was at the last episode.
The real last episode.
That's the thing. What was interesting about the last episode is that it didn't have a real... they weren't fight scenes. They were more people... They were more... I hate to try to sound arrogant, but they were more cerebral. Like, you got the Vision and
Vision v.
Vision, and they only fight for a little bit, and then they're in that library
and they discuss stuff.
And it's like, I require elaboration, which I thought was like an awesome point. Just and they don't fight, they just and
they fight for a bit, they're tossing each other around the town, but when they get to that, you have these two characters, and the Vision especially has always been this character who is information based. He's
Yeah.
always like trying to understand emotions and people.
And people get over it that it's not Ultron, okay?
I wished it was Ultron, but I like that it was a different concept of Vision.
Which, by the way, that brings me to one of my, not a complaint, just like I was confused. I'll just do it right now. Is that okay?
Go for it.
I don't get Hayward's point. Like,
I don't either, and I will. That is my one major complaint. Is Hayward ends up being nothing.
Like he's
purposely antagonistic. Hayward is the leader of Sword. Sword is the section of the Marvel Universe in the MCU dedicated to sentient weapons and like superheroes. Also space related.
Like, they really should have just done an episode about him.
I agree. Or, in my opinion, they should have just made him a different person.
Yeah.
Hayward isn't in the comics. He's not based on anyone. He's just kind of his own person. So many people speculated that he was actually Ultron, and Ultron was trying to rebuild the Vision to give himself a new body. However, it turns out that it's not true.
He's just some guy.
He's just a dude who's a dick. So I'm thinking, you know what they should have done? They should have made him Henry Peter Gyrich.
I know. I
know because Henry Peter Gyrich is a very long-lasting, long-established comic book character who is often like the head of Sword, and he's just a dick. He's not evil. He's not like a bad person. He's just like a dick, and he would have been perfect because then you have like a named character who has a backstory of just being antagonistic.
I kind of get their point where it's like, she's caused the Sokovia Accords. She was the reason the Sokovia Accords existed.
Yep.
She's torturing these people, but like he's doing it in ways that like would end up hurting those people, and like he's being really stupid. He's
purely just an antagonist with no real motive behind him, which is sad because a lot of the other characters are given real depth.
Yeah.
Wanda especially is someone who has not been very well developed in the other movies. She's always just kind of been magic hands. I mean, there is the one point at the end also that like, Woo's like, I'll have, which is a cool part where it's, or a funny part where he's like, the FBI will be here within the hour, and it's like, why didn't you do that before if it was, like, illegal? Like, I didn't know any of this shit was illegal. Like, if this shit was illegal, why didn't you just do it? Like, because he's afraid. He doesn't want to stand up for himself.
I get that was the character arc. I know.
No, his character arc is doing the card trick. That's his character arc.
Okay, but, like, I hate to be that guy where it's like, why did the family why did the family in The Quiet Place move from the lake or whatever?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but that's what everyone's saying. Like, it's like, why do they do? Well, because there needs to be a plot.
Yeah.
And but it's sometimes it's just there, and it's there, and there's kind of like
so obviously done just for plot.
A lot of this, all of the show, most of this, not all of it, most of the show is like really well done. I loved the show.
I agree.
It was an amazing experience
because not only does the show delve into Wanda's grief and her emotional state really well, it also is a wonderful job both lampooning and celebrating American sitcom culture and the way that it exists. I think that's the thing that threw me off the most, like in a pleasantly surprised way, is how well the show recreates the feel of different decades of sitcoms. Even to something that you mentioned via DMs is the way that the camera moves. Like how in like the first episode, it's all like on just one track. It doesn't like cut. And then as Wanda begins to like kind of spiral more, her control over the reality of how the sitcoms are filmed also deviates. Like there's more cuts. We go back to the real world more because
the camera angle changes. Like when the guy starts choking in the first episode, like the camera like
is given a shot that you would never see in that decade of sitcoms.
Like it becomes a more real, it breaks through reality.
Exactly, because it is.
Like I already thought of a solution to the whole Hayward problem.
My solution is make him Henry Peter Gyrich.
Like if they want, because there's a lot of in this in the show they wanted to bring in characters that already existed.
Yes.
What's a character that hates superheroes that wanted to regulate superheroes?
Thunderbolt Ross.
Why didn't you bring him in?
Because William Hurt is expensive, and also he's very old.
What do you mean?
I know it's Marvel. This is
like the most expensive TV show of all time.
Yeah, no, they could have gotten William Hurt, and it would have actually.
He's gonna be in the
She-Hulk, and probably he's in Black Widow. He might be.
I think he's supposed to be in
Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah. Maybe he was probably filming Falcon Winter Soldier for realistic reasons.
It would have made more sense. I know they wanted Sword, and he's not an agent of Sword, but they brought in the FBI too. He's not part of the FBI either.
He's the government. He oversees them all.
But just bring him in because they've established that not just the FBI or Sword was in that. Just bring everyone in,
and it would have tied into the fact that he was also one of the people who created the Sokovia Accords, which are related to Wanda.
Yeah, and they don't bring that up at all either.
Not really.
And so I guess the Sokovia Accords are defunct now.
I think Falcon the Winter Soldier is going to be getting more into the Sokovia Accords because Zemo returns.
But it's what they could have done there is because Hayward seemed like a cool guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
He wasn't the asshole. He was there was this other guy that was an asshole to
Darcy in the van. He's what are you, a doctor or something?
I'm talking about the guy that she's CMBR or whatever.
Oh yeah, that
and
guy.
then he's like, what is shut up, shut up, you don't know what
Darcy.
you're talking about.
Go back to he's two girls.
And Hayward was the one that's she's onto something, and he seemed like a good guy before, a father figure to Rambeau,
Yeah, Monica.
And so there's this as I guess it is a gradual change in his character, but there's no point.
Yeah, and it doesn't go anywhere.
And everyone else is you don't be so erratic because then she's gonna end up hurting these people.
Yeah, because we're gonna send this drone into the hex,
and then there's a bomb on this drone. It's these are real people. You're gonna hurt these people.
Doesn't work. And I know it sounds like we're dunking on the show, but we both really love it.
That's why I'm kind of in a little bit of I have to acknowledge this.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing for me.
Why don't you have Thunderbolt Ross team up with Hayward, and then Thunderbolt Ross convinces Hayward that she's not a good person.
He's more pulling the strings, and then you get more into I hate superheroes.
Because you already have a reason. You don't have to
he's established enough in this universe that we can understand where he's coming from, and then watching him manipulate someone from the outside would work for his character. There's just
so much going on in the show. It's obvious that they wanted to establish Spectrum.
Yes. Or Photon
or whatever.
Captain Marvel.
She's not going to be Captain Marvel.
They're not going to call her Captain Marvel.
But whatever she's going to be, because she's had
I'm guessing
names.
Photon?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's what... Because Maria Rambeau, her mother from Captain Marvel, went as Maria Photon Rambeau on her fighter jet. Yeah. So I'm guessing Photon?
And she... they got her, and they're trying to establish her, which seemed kind of just pushed in there, but I do like that they did it.
I agree with you to an extent. I think it's weird that they're this is the show that we're gonna develop Maria Rambeau in, but I think it works
none of the
really
other people,
well.
None of the other people inside the Hex got unless they got powers, and that's how mutants are gonna be. But that's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
We got that, and then they want to establish for at least a little bit Wiccan and Speed, but that makes sense because in the comics they were established in her mind and then they died out.
Yes, because and I actually think that was really cool because in the comics, Wanda just creates her children out of nothing, and then their souls are to a demon who has demons on his hands, and we don't get any of that for thank God. I do not want the demon who has demon hands in this show.
There is the after credits scene where she's she's looking in the Darkhold, and they're help us, and they're
probably in hell.
They're probably in hell, yeah.
The Marvel version of hell. Also, Mephisto is not in this show, which
and also,
I think is very funny.
I love that because there had to be some kind of Mephisto. But
you know what they say? There always has to be some sort of Mephisto. That's what you said.
I know.
You're like, there's always got to be some Mephisto. Hey, when you go to that party and you're just like, there's that Mephisto over there.
Anyway, I like, but the thing is, that's the thing. I think the writer knew that he was already doing a lot.
Yeah, she.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because she's writing Captain Marvel.
That's awesome. That's fucking cool.
Second Captain
I didn't
Marvel.
know who.
It's cool. I don't know their name, but I know it's a woman.
I thought it was. The reason why I said he, I thought because it's the show was directed by
the director's a guy. Yeah.
I thought he wrote it, so it's cool that a woman wrote it.
Yeah, which I think is really neat because you look into what I do not have the quote in front of me. When I edit this, I'll probably put the quote up because it's a good quote. She talks about how Wanda's grief is something that she wanted to develop because there's more to just like a sad woman than like the concept of a sad woman. There's often a reason behind it, and I think episode 7 is one of the best episodes because it's just we finally explore Wanda's life. She's always been alone.
Yeah.
And that's something that's so gut-wrenchingly like poignant.
And something that I love is that they I was afraid that they were going to go through the idea of like, I'm so tired of grief being depicted in superhero movies as like just anger and like doing erratic stuff. Yeah. I thought they were gonna she took Vision. I thought that was what they were gonna continue doing.
And they set you up to believe that.
I love the scene where it's like she just doesn't she leaves.
Yeah.
And she just drives away. Like it's such a
it's sad, but it's
more real.
Yeah, and that's a perfect way.
And yes, she did break the glass and stuff, but like. They kind of could have gotten that fixed, and that's what he said. Like that's what Hayward says. Like, it's class.
It's an understandable motive, and like you get it. But also, I think the thing that's so cool is that you look at. This is not my idea. This has been on the internet. You look at her moods throughout the progression of the sitcoms. It kind of mirrors the stages of grief, and I think there's
Modern Family one's depression.
Yeah, and then you have like this acceptance, and you watch it. She's like bargaining in the Halloween episode, and. I think the thing that makes the show really great, and I think it's why we point out a lot of the flaws, is because the good stuff in this show is so genuinely good, and it's so different for Marvel.
Yeah, and what I was going to say earlier is that I do have to give her credit.
Elizabeth Olsen kills it.
No, not her.
The writer?
The writer. Who's the...
Look it up.
Yeah.
She's writing Captain Marvel 2, which I'm going to talk about really quick. Monica rocks, and it's so cool to see her in this because Monica, if you watched Captain Marvel, is the little girl. She's Maria Rambeau's daughter, and her and Carol have like a good relationship. And in this show, we get some little clues to that. Her and Carol's Captain Marvel. There's
a lot of writers.
Oh yeah. Who's the main one though? Is the one that's...
I will say doesn't seem like there's a main one, but
look up the one who's writing Captain Marvel 2 because she's the one that has spoken out the most. Like she's the one that's interviewed the most. So she's probably like head writer. I don't know. I'm making assumptions based on lack of knowledge. But anyway,
it doesn't look like a woman is writing. There's a female, a woman directing.
Oh yeah.
But like it's some guy named Gene Colan. Oh no, they don't have anybody saying they've written the. Maybe that's the thing. That the director of it is writing.
Okay, then my knowledge is lacking. But I think really quick with Monica is you see, as the film goes on, Monica the show. It's practically.
No, I'm laughing because I said female. I still think
female. Men who call women females weird me out. You sound like fucking Hannibal Lecter to me. You're like, yes, the females. Like, okay, buddy, get out of here. You gonna eat them or something? Anyway, Monica, we watch is like she also comes to terms with her grief about losing her mother, and the way that like the 4th episode opens with like the snap and the way that she goes to the hospital and she's like, "Where's Maria Rambeau?"
And she's the perfect character because at the end she's like, I totally understand your grief. If I had your power, I would bring back my mom. Like it's okay. Like I understand these people don't understand, and yes, they were in a lot of pain. And you did something awful, but I understand your, like...
It's the concept of, like, your emotions are valid. It's the thing that people talk about, like, is your emotions are valid, and Wanda's emotions are valid, and it's that acceptance of that super cool.
Yeah. Whoever wrote it, multiple people wrote it, but like together as a team, they were smart in the idea that like yes, it seemed like it was the multiverse. It seems like this is going to be the start of her opening up the multiverse or whatever. But like everyone's theory was that it was going to bring up the multiverse and that like this Quicksilver was from the multiverse.
Yeah.
And I will say that they should have seen that people were going to be disappointed about that. But like
I have some thoughts
I will
on
say,
that.
but like I'm happy that they just didn't like we're like, oh yeah, he's from the multiverse. No other character is, but like he's just
him.
Yeah, like that's just a thing. Like I'm glad that they kept it consistent as a story. It's written in a very concise way. Sometimes almost too concise, where the villain is not much of a character.
But I kind of like that there's not, in a way though. I think it's neat that there's not just like a villain. I mean, there's Agatha, but she even has like different motives.
I would have just liked if it was Agatha. I think that Hayward. I understand that you want to make the government morally ambiguous, but like that's not the way you do it. I mean, like
the concept, Hayward's character concept makes sense. I think we just go, you make him Ross.
Yeah.
You make him an established character who already hates and distrusts superheroes, and for
maybe during the snap, because we don't really talk about this, maybe Ross took over S.W.O.R.D. because like Monica Rambeau died, like Maria Rambeau, I mean, died, and like he just, I guess
he's also in the government. He just steps in.
He just steps in. Like maybe that's the thing. I mean, you don't have to explain it very much. I mean, it's a fake government institution.
Yeah, you just have like one thing, and then Monica, when she comes back, she's like, "What happened to S.W.O.R.D.?" They're like, "Oh yeah, the guy from the Incredible Hulk is in charge of it."
Yeah, and like that's the thing. That's where the conflict starts because he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, and she doesn't trust him, and he doesn't trust her, and you could pull it into the whole superhero thing. It would work. I think that's the
that's the thing. I for this show that I love and I will continue to love even though I'm aware of its flaws. There is another scene
what a novel concept, Eric. Being able to admit something has flaws but still enjoying it. God, what earth are you on? You either like something or you don't. No middle ground.
Anyway,
that's sarcasm.
Yes,
because some people can't acknowledge that some things in a movie are like not great, but there's still good stuff. Things can be mixed,
and it's okay if you like it. It's like But the introduction, because the writers obviously knew, they created this character of Hayward, and they knew that no one fucking knows, because obviously no one would know because he's a created character.
He's not a person in the comics.
So like the introduction is literally Monica Rambeau and Hayward saying each other's names.
Yeah, and it would have been better if it was Peter Henry Gyrich.
And like they literally say each other's names, like. At least if it was like a comic book character like that, like they could just, I don't know, like say his name later, or like I don't know, just introduce him.
Or he has like a badge or something on, and it's like Damian Lewis. He turns around, he's wearing the sunglasses, he has like the dark green suit, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Peter Henry Gyrich," and then he looks right at the camera.
But that's the thing, if they didn't know each other, at least saying their names would make sense.
Yeah, but they do know each other.
They do know each other, they're just doing it as
for the audience.
It's for the audience. Because like Monica Rambeau, she's older now, and this is a different actress than what she was.
It's Teyonah Parris.
She's awesome, by the way.
Fucking up her first name. Yeah, she's great, man.
She's really fucking good.
She's gonna be in Nia DaCosta's Candyman soft reboot.
Oh, and she's
also going to be in Captain Marvel the second.
Because that's going to be directed by her too.
Nia DaCosta,
that's awesome.
Who did a really good movie on Amazon called Little Fires.
I'll check that out.
No, sorry. What's it called? Keep talking about WandaVision. It's Little Fires.
But anyway, it just like it comes off a little because this character Hayward's so bland that it's just.
Damn it! Sorry, it's Little Woods. Little Fires is with the fucking I don't. Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, okay.
That's also good.
Okay, yeah,
that's also good. No, Little Woods is starring Tessa Thompson, and that's Nia DaCosta's other film. It's very good. It's like a psychological
That's why
film.
Tessa Thompson should be in Captain Marvel 2, because they've already worked together.
No other reasons, just that one.
Shut the fuck up. They
should date.
They obviously, Captain Marvel and
Valkyrie should date.
Obviously, then they should get married, because that's just how it, like...
That's how it should be.
Yes,
100%.
It's a really good concept.
It would be cool.
But anyway. What I meant was that's a I should have said that's another reason that she should be in there, because they already have worked together. I'm so tired. By the way, okay, actually, you know what? I know that it's not great to be political on your podcast, but we're gonna do it. I'm so fucking tired of the bury your gays concept, because so there's this new idea that apparently Captain Marvel was dating...
Allegedly.
I
support it, but allegedly.
I think that's how it starts. What they do is they start, like, the company would... This is actually how it fucking works. Like, they'll start a rumor to see how people react to it, and people react to it well. Then it becomes, that's what we intended.
We intended all along, because
like,
for those who don't
allegedly...
know...
Oh, sorry. Allegedly... Maria Rambeau, who we've been talking about, is the person who started Sword. And it was also a really good friend.
Her and Carol were so close. They were great friends. They had matching pajamas, and they raised a child together.
You know that painting elementary friends where it's two girls making out completely naked.
They're good friends. It's like you in a history class, and it's like, these two women were great friends. They lived together their entire lives together.
And here's them kissing.
As good friends.
And holding hands. Yes. It's just like, but like, that's not the thing. It's allegedly that they were gonna, because it wasn't established. So allegedly, Captain Marvel, they actually were in a relationship. And at the time Captain Marvel came out, it wasn't established she died.
No.
So we were like, oh, in the future, they'll get into a relationship. Well, as of WandaVision, she died from cancer.
And the alleged thing is there are rumors that have not been backed up that they're planning on making Captain Marvel an LGBT hero in her next upcoming movie, which is cool, and I think that's
Brie Larson was the one that also...
And Brie Larson has talked about how she has been pushing for more LGBT diversity within the films in general.
And Valkyrie has already been established that she's bisexual.
She's a bisexual hero, and there's going to be possible romance arcs for her character in Thor 4.
Yeah. More Thor. Yes, I know.
We actually did it at the same time. That was great.
That's our thing. We talk at the same time. We finish each other's...
sandwiches.
Exactly.
But anyway. This concept of the possibility of Captain Marvel being gay and her and Maria maybe being more than friends has always been in conversation. And so now that Maria's dead, and now that they're thinking about making her, is
okay,
cool.
Well, now you killed her off, so so the bear. Okay, actually, we should have just said what the bury your gays trope is the whole time.
The gays trope is that someone's gay, but their lover is dead, so you don't actually have to worry about showing a relationship or anything. It's just I'm gay, but I'm sad that my partner's dead. Not
even worse, but or it's that you show they're gay and they're happy, and then one of them dies. That
United States of Terror does it.
It always has to happen. It's just
if we full circle 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon, 3 degrees of Brie Larson. Brie Larson's brother in the show United States of Terror has a bury your gays trope in season 3.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. United States of Terror has the most 2000s understanding of gay people, and I kind of love it.
Love it?
It's really dated. And,
I can't say that. You are gay, so...
Yeah, but also you haven't... And more importantly, you haven't watched United States of Terror. Yeah. But I think with... it's a good show, actually. It's pretty fun. It's very 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with the gay people in United States of Terror is that they treat the brothers like him being gay really, genuinely well. He struggles with finding acceptance. He finds, a boyfriend that he loves. His family is loving of it. But it's the 2000s thing.
How does this boyfriend die?
Oh, car accident.
Oh, damn.
It's very real, but it's also he was just happy.
You don't have to do that.
You don't have to. It would have been better if you just had him in a loving relationship, but it's also the very 2000s thing with gay characters. They're either very flaming or they're just like you and me.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
But it's also it's genuine. But anyway, major tangent on that. So, it would have been cool to have a real relationship for Captain Marvel, but the way this ties into WandaVision, full circle here, is Monica, Maria's kid, has had like a falling out with Carol. Like Captain Marvel was name dropped a couple times within this, and every time it does, like, Monica's like, I'm sad now.
Yeah, this is not okay.
It's not okay.
Something happened.
They
high-fived in the movie.
They did. They were close.
Yeah, I still have yet to
see it.
I have yet to see it because, okay, I might as well talk about it at some point.
Yes, hell yes. Our reoccurring segment, we talk too long about Captain Marvel.
No, it's not it. I've held it. I've kept myself from talking about it enough. In fact, actually, it does coincide with a lot of what we're WandaVision and grief. So, unfortunately, my mom passed away from the coronavirus Thanksgiving of last year, and so this came out perfect timing. It's about a woman dealing with grief. So, and that in fact, actually, the scene where she talks to Vision and she's describing grief, and it's very real, you know.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how grief is just love persevering, which I think is fucking beautiful.
I think with WandaVision, I do want to talk. This is the last thing I think we're going to talk about is the concept of fan expectations.
Yes.
And fan theory versus artist intention.
Yeah.
I will say, Peter Maximoff Quicksilver being a boner joke is not my favorite thing in the world.
Boner.
I'm on the side of like that was weird and kind of a letdown, but also like I'm not. A lot of people like the show's ruined for me now. Really?
Nah.
That's what ruins it for you is just a dumb joke because everything.
Because there's a chance he might.
Who knows? Maybe he will show.
Maybe this is a reason. Like the response from this, Marvel is not stupid. They can see how the response and how people really want the real him as Quicksilver back.
And
it's
also,
just, like,
realistically, often when they sign like bigger actors, it's a contract deal.
Yeah.
So
and he's supposedly going to be coming back in some way in the future.
We don't know. They've talked about it in interviews how they're like, you may have not seen the last of Evan Peters.
Yeah, exactly.
And also,
and that means we haven't seen the last.
We haven't seen the last of Evan Peters. They're bringing back the guy who played Batroc the Leaper in Falcon Winter Soldier. Anyone can return except for Tim Blake Nelson.
All they have to say is that, like, this whole process is actually he's kept the powers and now he's like
Quicksilver again.
Or
Multiverse of Madness because Wanda's in that.
Yeah,
he's Doctor Strange like, see, here's Quicksilver. He's your brother, and they have a thing together.
Evan Peters always wanted to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like I think the only reason why he joined the Fox universe is because he really wanted to be in a superhero movie.
There's a really great video.
Said that he loved doing this.
There's a really great video around the time of Dark Phoenix where they're just talking about the MCU and he's like stone quiet because like it's around the time that this was also filming.
Yeah.
So he's just trying not to spoil that he's in this show. It's great. You should look it up. I'll link it in the description. Oh my god, it's great. But I think with I really like that WandaVision was released weekly because it's like that's how TV works and it makes you excited. But it kind of reminds me of The Last Jedi. How between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, everyone came up with these theories that are like, Snoke is gonna be Mace Windu, or he's gonna be Plagueis, and Luke's gonna dual wield his lightsabers, and Kylo Ren's gonna have his skin melted down or whatever. And then when the movie came out.
It was a movie.
It was a movie with what the
a concise story, and
more importantly,
plot.
It was what the artist, that being Rian Johnson, wanted, and everyone was disappointed that their thing that they wanted didn't happen.
Which, by the way, quick thing, if you had a theory about Last Jedi or WandaVision,
that's fine.
It's valid.
Yeah,
but it's not gonna it's probably not gonna happen.
You shouldn't be angry that your theory didn't happen because it's not what the director wanted.
Yeah.
I think the thing with WandaVision is where everyone's like, Reed Richards is going to show up. He's going to be the aerospace astroneer. What is it? What was it? Aerospace scientist or whatever. Engineer.
Yeah.
Astroneer. Yeah. He's going to be the aerospace God damn it. He's going to be the aerospace engineer.
Just call the episode the aerospace astroneer.
I refuse. Mephisto's going to be the one controlling Agatha. Nightmare's going to be Mark Hamill. And these are all cool concepts. Hayward's going to be Ultron. All these are all cool concepts, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't judge a movie or a show by what it could have been. You need to judge it as what it is.
And like also like this is a like that's the thing. This still has to be a story. It can't just be like Cameo City, you know?
Yeah.
Like it can't just be like
here's James Spader.
Everything.
Here's fucking who's the guy from The Office?
Like
John Krasinski.
James Spader, because he was in it
and
too.
also Randall Park, who is Jimmy Woo.
But
He's also Jim, I guess, because there's that fun joke.
Idris Elba, you know what I mean?
Idris Elba, also from The Office. Amy Adams.
I was just gonna name
the guy who played Dwight. Fuck, what's his name?
Rainn
Wilson.
But that's like it's. What was I saying until you interrupted me? Like I'm not even angry this time. You just interrupted me. Because like it's still
Ed Helms.
Oh my God, Peter! It still has to be a story.
Yeah.
Like it's like all of these theories are legitimate and reasonable, but like it's still got to be like
beginning end.
Yeah, and there still has to be like you can't just throw things in there, and that's also what I think this show suffered from a little bit too. Like they tried to do a lot.
Yeah.
And they tried to do it within 9 episodes.
And I think another thing is I wish the episodes were a bit longer.
Yes.
I think that would have been really helpful.
Like the first few episodes, I know they were trying to just be sitcom episodes.
Yeah, because they have to set that
that's
tone.
The thing. Like when there was the rumor that the last 3 episodes were going to be an hour long or even longer, people were like,
pumped.
Awesome, yeah, because that made sense.
Yeah, because you're getting near the end
sense.
game. You want more time to flesh out the final concepts. I think that's one thing I would have massively changed. I would have made the last 3 episodes much longer.
Yeah, because they have the ability to make them like almost like that was. Oh God, I had a stroke there.
Right.
That's what I thought. Like the last episode was going to be like it was actually going to be like a mini movie. Like it was going to be like an hour and 15 minutes or something. Nope, it was 50 minutes.
Yeah,
which
almost
is still long. It was a still long time. And it only felt like that because all the other ones were like
30 minutes.
Yeah, less than that. The first one was like 24 minutes. Like it was really short. It was It was not a long episode, although it's a good episode.
It's a good episode. I think it's not my favorite episode, the finale, but it's still good. And I like White Vision.
Yeah, although he does just come in and then leaves.
Because Hex Vision, who Wanda, because that's one of the major reveals, is that Hayward tells all the Sword people, Wanda stole the Vision's body, but she didn't. He has been trying to recreate Vision for reasons that we also don't know, because who doesn't matter. Hayward sucks. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he makes this version of Vision that's just pure white, which is a very wonderful reference to the comics where Vision was destroyed and he came back as White Vision. Anyway, White Vision flies into Westview and he fights Hex Vision, and then Hex Vision is like,
yeah, I'm not the real Vision.
I'm a temporary Vision.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like there's like which is great, but all the characters had to kind of come to the realization about that, where it's like it's very obvious. Like,
but I even love the concept of Vision.
They've established in the show that like she cannot create material; she has to reuse it. And if she creates something in within this hex, it doesn't last.
Yeah,
or at least it lasts within the hex, but it won't go outside. Yeah, and like. That information had to have gone to Hayward at some point.
Yeah, I also just really think the wording of "I'm a temporary Vision" is
kind of beautiful.
Beautifully lit. Vision has been consistently one of the most eloquent Marvel characters out there. Like, Age of Ultron is not a great movie.
For a person who doesn't understand emotion, he really is like...
Well, that's the whole thing that they've nailed perfectly from the comics, not to keep being the comics kind of person, but Vision has always been a robot trying to understand humanity and understanding it in a way that is more beautiful than how humans understand it. And I think the MCU, and Paul Bettany especially, holy fucking cow, does he knock it out of the park in this show. Every single thing he does, whether it's like wacky sitcom dad.
And I will say, people were mad at him because he did this whole prank where he's like... actually... One, it was funny.
It was
funny. And two, he's got a point that he had a lot of chemistry with himself.
Paul Bettany talking to Paul Bettany as 2 Visions is weirdly fantastic.
He wasn't lying when he said that it kind of like it worked. It worked. It did work.
It was wonderful.
It was like, he played the slightly emotionless, because I don't think White Vision seemed to be... White Vision didn't seem emotionless. He seemed like he was
just more just like analytical.
Yeah, exactly. You just played the two sides very well. And
versus this Vision who's created this life with Wanda.
I'm glad that they're not giving up on Vision. I thought this was going to be the end. I thought
they were going to kill him, and I'm like, I like that he's still around, and I'm glad.
This is going to be a different one, obviously, but like. I'm glad that because Paul Bettany is Vision. He's one of those actors that is the character, but needs more. People don't really it's
recognition.
It's like how Hugh Jackman is Wolverine or whatever.
And I think Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen have both solidified themselves
in those
really
roles,
well in these roles because we give them time.
Yeah,
I think that's something that I really like about the TV show.
Because I thought Paul Bettany fucking hated being Vision because of the makeup and stuff. Now he doesn't care anymore.
He's doing just weird stuff, and he gets to expand his role, and I like it. It's great. I wonder how long the new white makeup takes. Probably the same amount.
It does. It looks cheaper.
I wonder.
Maybe that's a point, though. I hate to that doesn't. I'm not insulting it because it still looks good.
Yeah,
it just doesn't look as detailed.
Maybe that's the point though, because someone not as smart as Tony Stark or Ultron created the white Vision.
Well, I did it. Well, I did. This is weird. So I did. I didn't.
He looks like that ice cream
I sort
commercial.
of watched the finale with a friend of mine, but he already watched it before I did.
Oh, who was it?
Jared.
You can cut this out. Oh, Jared's cool.
But I just I had him on the phone with me, and I watched the finale on my own, and I realized White Vision has kind of a diaper.
With the pants.
Yeah, a weird looking diaper, but it's boob windows, from anime.
Yeah,
it's like a dick window. It's.
Oh, there's that picture when Wanda is creating Vision out of nothingness. There's a point where the pixels just make it look like he's got a massive schlong. I'll send you. It's very funny.
But you can cut this out too.
Because Paul Bettany did talk about how Vision has a giant purple penis.
But no, I mean the dick window thing. It just doesn't. It looks like he's wearing a thong.
That is funny.
It doesn't look. It looks very weird.
I wonder if White Vision will change his color scheme next time we see him.
Because he's gold in some of the products.
Well, because it's like how in the regular Vision he's purple and green, but there's different gold stuff on the green. It's way
there's no gold in the show.
In the show, it's more like a cream where it's not white, but it's a mix. Come on.
Oh,
sorry.
I've realized how much I hate that word
cream?
Now. Just you saying it is describing a color or something on a person it's not.
You don't want me to talk about how Vision is covered in cream?
Yes, I don't. I'm usually not the person. I don't hate the word moist, but when you describe
cream,
when you describe that somebody looks like they have cream on them,
come on,
it doesn't sound great.
It sounds.
It's not a great thing to hear.
But anyway, yeah, I think he might change because Vision can change what color he looks like. He gives himself a cape in Age of Ultron, so I think he might go towards more of the all new.
I do like the idea, with gold on him, but that's the thing. I found it so weird because I thought maybe what those products kind of led me and I mean when I say products I mean action figures and they had
cool
the
Funko
pops,
that glows in the dark.
Yeah, the Funko Pops.
I'm gonna get my hands on that.
What they have is they have this weird a gold he has a gold cape or a gold the secondary color on him is gold, but that wasn't in the
it's more cream
show. Shut up. Anyway,
I'm saying the color.
Anyway, no, but you said it to me
now I can say
with a smile and a wink, and you knew exactly what you were saying, and I hate you. So that made me think that Vision
more gold in the show.
No, what was going to happen? I thought was going to be that I don't know. They both the characters, both Visions beat each other to a pulp, and Wanda transfers his consciousness is into the Vision because gold is part of the color scheme in the original Vision.
It's true.
So I thought it was going to be a combination of the two.
Yeah, well, it kind of happens that because Hex Vision transfers the memories of Vision into White Vision.
But that still doesn't. That only changes the eyes.
No, which I thought was neat.
That was very cool.
So I wonder,
probably done because that would have lowered costs for CGI in the future. But but I will say Vision having his own TV show is specific.
Just him living a normal life, being what's an apple?
I don't know, him going on some spiritual journey, because it's obvious he's going to do that.
I think it's neat. I wonder if he'll show up in Doctor Strange, Too Strange, Too Furious.
I think he's going to, yeah.
I think so, because he and Wanda are, connected. Also, this show has solidified them as one of the best couples.
I think that we have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness to
Too
look forward
Strange, Too
to.
Furious.
To look forward to when it comes to, like, I think they're actually going to bring in Speed and Wiccan and, like,
I think, yeah.
make them real characters.
Because I think Wanda is probably going to take, like, an antagonistic kind of...
I don't think she is.
Not even antagonistic, but she's on a mission to get her children back.
Yeah.
Which in the comics does often lead to her, like, being, like...
Evil, yeah.
Not
but, like,
evil,
they
but,
established that Mordo is going to be a villain. Not an alien, a villain.
He's an alien. Yeah,
like,
Baron Mordo.
Which is, like, maybe he is a villain in the comics, but, like, how is he going to play into this?
Well, because
like...
his current mission is... This is now the part where we just discuss all the plot lines of the MCU.
Oh, great.
Because post-Doctor Strange, he's like, no more magic. Fuck magic, I hate it. And then he takes that guy's leg away.
Like, it's not that.
No, he's like, too many sorcerers. I want all the magic.
He's some elitist when it comes to magic now. He's like, oh god, that was my water bottle, by the way.
It was his bones.
He's like, you're using your magic in the wrong way. You're making it so that you can walk again. That's not okay, apparently.
So maybe he'll go to Wanda, because Wanda has this thing called chaos magic, which is very powerful.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be like, Wanda, you're
the Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet, you're the Scarlet Witch. We said the name. Are you happy?
I love that.
I think it's neat.
And people were like, but we wanted, like we wanted this. It's like, now she's the Scarlet Witch, and she looks like the Scarlet Witch. And it's like there's so many there's so much in the show that's established the future of the MCU.
Oh yeah, I think it's
just
neat.
Be fucking happy.
And Elizabeth Olsen has finally got a costume she feels comfortable with. She feels comfortable wearing.
Is that something that she talked?
Yeah, she's talked about how the cleavage and like the corset were like uncomfortable. So now
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, now she has one that's cool and it looks like the comics.
Corset is literally made to
be uncomfortable.
To be uncomfortable and to flatten your belly. Yeah.
I like how in Age of Ultron she just looks like she raided a Hot Topic.
I know. It's so weird.
She's like ha.
Like is she just goth? And
she's just goth. She's the Scarlet Witch, which reminds me of the X-Men Evolution version of Scarlet Witch, which is just an emo goth chick. She's got like short hair and she's got like red fringe. Yeah, she's like, Pietro, you don't understand.
In this one, she's like, Pietro, you're dead.
You're dead. And also, you're a boner.
Which, by the way, is like it's a boner.
I thought it was fine.
His delivery on every line is just so genuinely
rocks,
funny.
And I really hope he does return because I really like him as an actor.
He's so funny, and he's like, he plays all of these types of characters so, like, he can play the serious character so well.
He can play weird. Horror Story.
He can play scary and weird and crazy, and also in this he just plays a douchebag, and I love it.
He's like an older brother. He's like, I'm gonna hang out with your kids, we're gonna TP a house.
It's like he's just like he's just consistently saying one-liners that I love. Like,
it's neat. I like
snitch is gonna snitch. Like, what is it?
Snitch is gonna snitch.
Yeah.
I wonder if Paul Bettany had any influence on that, because you know his catchphrase of snitches end up in ditches.
Oh.
What he said during the Infinity War.
I wonder if Evan Peters and Paul Bettany actually had like were friends on set. I wonder. You ever just like wonder if people got along on set?
Yeah, I wonder that all the time. Like, I want to know that Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn are like pals because they're doing Secret Invasion together, which ties into our other end credits scene of Monica going to a movie theater, and she's like, and then like an agent walks in, she goes, they want to see you, and she goes, where? And then the person's like, I'm a Skrull!
Up there.
Up in the sky, which is probably Secret Invasion. Also, that Skrull, fan theory time, that Skrull is probably Talos' daughter? Who knows?
You're the one yesterday that said you're tired of people being related to other people.
Only in Star Wars. You can.
I think that she's just a fucking Skrull.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: Talos' daughter. Because if we're going into Secret Invasion, which is going to be Ben Mendel's Skrull and Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, it would make sense that he's like, my daughter, you must.
Yeah, but she's just a Skrull. Like, just like let it be a Skrull.
It's a Skrull. We don't know if it's like an important Skrull, but it's a Skrull, and I want more Skrulls. I want so many Skrulls. I want every new. I want every new Marvel property to just have a Skrull in it.
Oh, okay.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
That seems like a thing now.
It's a Skrull. Everyone's a Skrull. Everything. Every single character. Oh, it's like, oh, what's up, War Machine? Your own series? Nah, Don Cheadle. He's a Skrull. He's been a Skrull the whole time. The real War Machine was Terrence Howard.
Anyway.
That's how they explained the casting change. Terrence Howard is the real Rhodey.
Okay, Fuzz. Not Fuzz. I'm so used to yelling.
Where?
Not yelling, but like I'm so used to like when my dog is like barking at me, and I'm just like, Fuzz, stop. So like. It's just
same
like
emotion.
the same emotion. What was I gonna say? Okay, so the transformation seemed different. Did you notice that?
Yeah, because it's probably a different effect.
Like you were talking about like in Captain Marvel, like it's like it looks painful.
It looks
like,
painful.
Like they do it like it looked different here.
Maybe as they've because that was in the 90s.
They've tried. Yeah, maybe they changed the. Maybe they've improved. What did it look like in it's amazing how most of the films that
Spider-Man
scrolls are in, I haven't seen.
Second Home.
Yes.
It looks more painless.
Okay.
So maybe they just evolved,
okay.
and they're like, now we know how to do it without hurting ourselves.
Maybe they've just established that they don't want to do
also,
that kind of
maybe
special
it just
effects
costs
anymore.
more money to do the one where it looks like they're just
so their
really
excuse is like, oh yeah, let's just...
They've trained.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's like a fair retcon. I don't really care. I'm not like, make the Skrulls in more pain!
At certain times, Skrulls would, when they changed, they would only be able to change into one person. Do you think that's still the thing?
No, I think... Well, because Skrulls in the comics, normally, like, it depends on who they are. Because then you get into, like, Super Skrulls, who can, like, mimic powers, but then some Skrulls can just do people.
Yeah,
most Skrulls
you were given the choice as a Skrull. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, do you want to have powers, or do you want to be able to change into
people? Because Super
another
Skrulls
person? Yeah.
can't change into people. They can only change powers.
So,
But I think, like, most Skrulls, they can just do it as many times. They can do whoever they want multiple times. But they only... And then there's
the story of the Skrull Beetles. Did you hear about that one?
No, what's the Skrull Beetles?
Okay, so...
Is this a joke?
I'm not joking.
Oh, what is this?
So there was 4 Skrulls that came to Earth, and they were designed to look like the Beatles. They changed in Marvel Comics.
Oh, what the fuck?
And they changed themselves to look like the Beatles. And when they realized that they weren't the real Beatles, they just decided to make their own band.
I want that adapted into a show.
Like, it's such a weird plot.
It's your favorite movie yesterday, but instead it's 4 Skrulls who are the only people who remember the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, I want... and then whenever there's, like, a next thing for the Skrulls, I want them to just have the 4 Beatles, just, like Uncanny Valley CGI'd versions of the dead Beatles. And they're like, what?
John Lennon.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm a Beatle now. Oh, it's me, a Skrull. I don't know what John Lennon sounds like. Let's wrap it up. So all in all, do you think people should check out WandaVision?
Are there people that haven't?
And some people don't. Some people
I know.
Are like, I don't care about
what I mean
the
is, like, the whole world, like,
Everyone's watched
everyone
it.
didn't want it at first, and then... Well, not everyone. I wanted it at first.
Yeah.
I loved it. But, like, then, I liked WandaVision before it was cool. But, like... I was the WandaVision hipster, but, like...
It's definitely worth the check out, is what you're saying.
And it yes, it has its flaws, and we've pointed them out.
But the pros...
And also, quick fucking thing, the name rocks, okay?
The name is good, yeah, because it works on multiple levels. It works because it's Wanda and Vision.
Television.
It works because it's about sitcoms, which is television, but it's Wanda's version of them, so it's WandaVision. And also, the Hex is Wanda's vision of a perfect world.
Yeah.
Boom, 4 ways it works. It's cool and it rocks.
It's a very poetic name, and it works, so shut the fuck up. I think people aren't mad about it anymore.
No one's mad about it
But,
anymore.
like, before, when it was released...
People are like, well, WandaVision, more like Long Division.
And people were like, WandaVision, that's a horrible name. It's like, I don't
It
care.
works now. It's cool and I like it.
I don't care. Even then, when we didn't know what it was about, like, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
They put their names together. I don't see how this is bad.
I dig it. And that's the show.
Okay,
Thank you for putting up with us. There will be more streamlined content coming down the path eventually, but if you like this, email us at whoasspod20@gmail.com. That's whoasspod20@gmail.com. We currently have as many emails as Wanda does have living children. Also, if you're listening to this on the Buckeye Studios YouTube account, please watch and
subscribe to our other channel, which we are building up currently.
Who Asked for This Pod? We'd love to see you there. If we can build up enough subscribers, we can eventually
probably there's going to be a link to it in the description.
If this part of it goes out. Everyone, thank you very much for supporting us. We'll see you next week, and What's up?
There has to be some kind of thing about
What's up?
a catchphrase, right?
Well, we're getting there, Eric.
Oh.
We're getting there. Anyway, we're going to tune out, and we're going to end out with our catchphrase. Eric, go. Mindy Kaling. She was also in The Office.
Oh, I get it! I